Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm COD Gamer back with another video, and I want to start off the video by just apologizing that I haven't really posted in the last week or so, and that's mainly due to I was just really sick the past week and didn't feel like making a video, and I had finals to finish up in college, so I was kind of away from gaming for that whole entire span of a week. But anyways, this is just, I guess this is a comeback video, but basically this video I want to do a review on the Sten submachine gun in Call of Duty World War II, and also I want to do my personal favorite class, or a best class setup for the Sten in the game. So first I want to start off with the review of the actual submachine gun. So to start off, it's a very average weapon for the submachine gun class. It's got a 6 damage, a 6 range, a 5 accuracy, which is pretty bad for the submachine guns, or the submachine gun category, and it's got an 8 fire rate. So overall, it's a pretty average submachine gun. The iron sights on the gun, now I really do not like the iron sights. So like with a scope, with either the lens sight or the reflex sight, it's not horrible. I would say the lens sight is better, because the reflex sight, I don't know, I just really don't like them on submachine guns. I think there's too much recoil to go along with how big the sight is on the gun. I prefer the lens sight because it's kind of like a smaller, closer sight, and it seems more stable in my opinion. But the Sten itself, with the iron sights, are just bad. Like, yeah, they look alright when you look at them, but for some reason, like, the iron sight is just too small for me to use in game, and I constantly find myself missing on targets, and pretty much headshots too, because I have diamond submachine guns except for the Sten, because I added that into the game, so I'm trying to get headshots and stuff like that. And part of the reason I can't get headshots is the iron sights are just so bad. I'm constantly aiming for people's heads, but trying to shoot them in just the head with the gun, and with them trying to kill me at the same time, it just causes me to usually shoot their bodies, because like I said, the iron sight is just so small at the front that I find it hard to aim for the head unless the other player is, like, AFK or just isn't moving or camping or something like that. Another thing that I found is the Hipfire isn't as strong or as, I guess, accurate on other players as the other submachine guns. So I found on and this was basically because I use pretty much each of these weapons for over 1,000 kills to get diamond submachine guns, and I found for, like, the PPSH or the Type 100 or the M1928, all those guns I could run around and just spray from the hip at someone, and 9 times out of 10 I would get them. Like, these guns were very accurate just spraying from the hip. But I find with the Sten that when I use it, it's not as accurate from the hip. Something's off about it. I'm not really sure what it is, but something's different on the Hipfire spread, because I'm constantly missing the target, and it's just not as accurate when I shoot from the hip. I find other players easily killing me over when I should just be able to spray from the hip and kill them like the other submachine guns in the category. So overall, the Sten, I think it's a very average weapon. It does have some, it's okay. I wouldn't say it's the best submachine gun, but I wouldn't say it's the worst either. But it's definitely an average weapon, and it's okay if you know how to use it well. You're gonna like the gun. The only thing I would recommend is just to put a sight on the gun, because the iron sights, if you are going for diamond submachine guns, or trying to get this one gold, I would definitely recommend using a sight. Moving on from that, I want to go over the my personal best class setup for the weapon. And to start off, so of course we got the Sten. And along with that, usually if I'm not trying to go for headshots, I will always use the quick draw and the grip, mainly because when I'm shooting at someone, I want it to be accurate, and the grip is always my go-to for that. And quick draw is always another thing, because when I'm shooting at someone or I'm in a gunfight or I spot someone, I want to be able to have my gun up ready, shooting faster than the other person who may have, a submachine gun just like me. I like to be able to, just whip my gun up very fast and proceed to shoot with accuracy at all my targets. But if you are going for headshots, which I am currently, I would get rid of quick draw and I would attach the lens sight, mainly because using the lens sight with the grip is good, because you'll be accurate, somewhat more accurate aiming for the head, and the lens sight is way more accurate in my opinion than shooting iron sights for headshots. So it's just another it's just another thing that I like to use because it helps me get headshots. But again, if you aren't going for headshots, I know some people don't even care about completing camo challenges. If you aren't, then just feel free to use the quick draw attachment and the grip attachment. Now, I know a lot of people like to use the infantry division and throw a third attachment on their weapon, but the reason I run airborne is mainly because of the suppressor. I know some people like mountain because it makes you, it gives you silent movement, which is nice. But the reason I like suppressor is because if you're not running airborne, like the other players on the other team, they're not running airborne. When they shoot, they're going to come up on the map. And I like having a suppressor on my weapon because it makes me basically, somewhat invisible to the enemy, and I can run around and spray them. In this video, I'm not sure what part of the video I'll put it in, but I have a clip of me basically getting behind the spawn on the USS Texas map with the Sten, and I'm just basically spraying the entire team. And I had a suppressor on. If I didn't have a suppressor, they would have known where I was, and they probably would have killed me way faster than when I was able to, get behind them and kill them all. So that's why I like running airborne. I know other divisions like mountain is nice and infantry is nice, but I really prefer airborne because of the suppressor on the gun. I think it really definitely adds like a level of stealth that is really beneficial to the submachine guns in game. Next, for my, perk, I like to use Hustle because that's basically my go-to perk. I know there's a lot of different ones, a lot of good ones, but Hustle, reload faster, that's basically, I've always used that throughout all of the Call of Duties. I always use, speed reload, or, God, I can't even think what they call them in the other games. But you guys know what I mean. Just reloading faster. It's always been my go-to perk to use, and I still use it throughout this game. I know a lot of people got different ones they prefer, but I do like Hustle, because if you're in a gunfight and shit's going down between you and another person, and in this game the clip sizes are pretty small, so when you're in a gunfight with someone, you want to be able to reload fast and get the jump on the other person before they can. So I always like that, because when I got small clips, I like to go, if I run through a clip, I can reload a few seconds faster and be ready to go again. So I think it's really beneficial to the class, especially with the Sten. Finally, my secondary weapon. So the secondary weapon is kind of interchangeable. I really don't have a preference. It's basically preference based on what you like. I usually run the machine pistol, only because automatic weapons are more of my type of thing. But lately I've been using the P08, basically because I have a heroic variant and I think it looks really cool. I have the Torch 2 variant for the gun, and I think I really think it looks great in game. So I've actually been using that, but you can use really any of the pistols. I usually prefer the machine pistol, just because if I run out of ammo in my Sten and I want to get like a last shot on someone, I may whip out the machine pistol and I got 10 shots and it's automatic, which is nice. So it's a faster kill than just shooting with the P08. but either one works, or even the 1911 if you want to use that. But right now I've been just using the P08 mainly because of the Torch 2. But depending on what gun you pick, the attachment slot that I would always use is the quick draw attachment, mainly because the other ones, I don't know, I don't really mess with the other ones. Extended mag would be good on the machine pistol if you decide to use that, but nevertheless, quick draw is what I usually pick just to get that extra, because if you're in a gunfight, you run out of ammo with your submachine gun or your main weapon, and you whip out a pistol, you want to make sure you're the first one, the fastest, to get those shots out on the enemy player. So quick draw is just that extra little added speed in there that will make, that will basically help you win a gunfight. And finally, moving on for that, the last part of this, best class setup is the lethal. I always pick the grenades, mainly because they are very overpowered in this game. I know a lot of people complain about them. They're always saying, nerf the grenades, nerf the grenades. And that's part of the reason why I still use them. Just because, and it's not really, I don't really use it for like an advantage in any way. I just like to take them and just throw them in the beginning of matches, or maybe I am trapped behind a corner and I just like to toss a grenade out. Because sometimes you can get multiple kills with the grenades, and it's a big help, especially if you're pinned down and you know where someone is. You can just cook the grenade and toss it, and sometimes you get lucky in the beginning of matches just taking grenades and throwing them across the map, and sometimes you end up getting 1 or 2 kills. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. That was basically my review on the Sten submachine gun. And basically a best class setup for the Sten, in my opinion. I know a lot of people have different, opinions or styles they play with, so definitely, if you've got your own best class setup and you think, just leave it down in the comments. Tell me what you guys think is the, your favorite setup for running the Sten, or, just SMGs in general. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. I will definitely be, posting more videos soon. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on my next video. Peace.